Heart is a pumping organ of body. It is made up of four chambers. Lower two chambers are pumps and are called as ventricles. Upper two chambers are receiving chambers and are called as atria. Right side of heart has all impure or deoxygenated blood. Left side of heart has all pure or oxygenated blood. All impure blood enters right side of the heart via these two veins. It is then sent to lungs for purification. Purified blood reaches left side of the heart. It is then pumped to body for circulation. One should understand that left-sided pumping chambers, that is LV, is much stronger and generates very high pressure as it needs to pump blood to whole body for circulation. Right-sided pumping chamber, that is RV, however, generates very low pressure as it needs to pump blood only to lungs, which are a very spongy organ. So as compared to LV, RV generates only 1/4 of pressure. Now let us understand what is VSD. First, let us declutter this diagram for better understanding. As told previously, lower two pumping chambers of heart are called as ventricles. A communication hole or defect between these two chambers is called as VSD. So VSD basically stands for ventricular septal defect. Ventricular because it is in between the two lower two pumps which are called as ventricles. Septal because it is in the wall of tissue that divides two ventricles, and defect stands for communication or hole. As told before, left side of heart has all pure blood and LV has 4 times pressure as compared to RV. So VSD leads to constant leaking of blood from LV to lungs. Let us understand here why I am saying LV to lungs and not LV to RV. As both the ventricles are contracting at same time, blood leaking from LV enters lungs directly and RV only acts as a conduit. This extra blood entering lungs actually returns back to the left side of heart, leading to swelling of left-sided chambers of the heart. Now let us see what are the effects of VSD on the body. Effects of VSD can be divided into those which affect lung and the ones which affect heart. Effect on lungs are breathing difficulty, rapid breathing, frequent respiratory tract infection, and there can be an admission for pneumonia. Extra blood reaching left side of the heart leads to swelling of the heart, which leads to inefficient pumping and it causes failure to gain weight. Let us now see what are the types of VSD by size. According to size, VSDs are classified as small, medium and large. Again here, although I am saying by size, usually millimeters which are given in echo report don't matter. Let us understand why we should not interpret size of VSDs by looking at millimeters. Firstly, VSD is not a punched out hole in septum with clear-cut margins like this. It can be shaped anyhow. Also, calling it a hole is oversimplification. It is actually a tunnel between two chambers with difficult shape in 3D. So size will vary depending upon what part of tunnel we are measuring. Thirdly, heart is a dynamic organ and in children will be growing with varying size at different ages. Let us understand this by an example. Suppose I see a baby at 1 month of age and I give size of VSD as 1 millimeter. If size of septum is 10 millimeter, then VSD will be approximately 10% of size of septum. Now I follow up this child again at 6 months of age. The size of VSD is 2 millimeter. Here, if we go by millimeters, VSD has doubled in size. However, during these 6 months, septum has grown from 10 millimeter to 30 millimeter. So here, size of the VSD has actually become less than 10%. That is, size of the VSD has reduced in spite of millimeters being doubled. Moral of the story is millimeters are deceptive. Don't delve too much into them. So if millimeters don't matter, how are VSDs classified depending upon size? Technical parameters seen by a pediatric cardiologist to size the VSD are pressure difference between the two ventricles, increased size of the left-sided chambers of the heart and valves, and pressure in the lungs. With these technical parameters, your pediatric cardiologist will classify VSDs into 3 baskets: small, medium and large. So millimeters don't matter. What matters is basket in which these VSDs belong. Also, the prognosis and outcome of VSDs depends upon these categories. So let us see treatment required and outcome in various types of VSDs. Small VSDs usually cause no trouble and are asymptomatic. Child leads a completely trouble-free life and no medications are required. With time, most of these VSDs close spontaneously. Large VSDs, on other hand, are usually symptomatic. They cause breathlessness, feeding difficulty, poor weight gain, and excessive sweating. Large VSDs do not decrease in size as a rule. They usually require surgical closure by 6 months of age. Medium VSDs are usually followed up and can go on two different paths. First scenario is where VSDs remain same, it is followed up yearly, and if it persists, closure is advised by 2 to 3 years of age. Second scenario is where VSD decreases when followed up. It later behaves like a small VSD and can also close spontaneously. Okay, I know it may be too much of information to digest, so is there anything else one needs to know? One should also know that occasionally VSDs can be associated with some genetic syndromes, and your pediatric cardiologist may advise a genetic consult. Let us utilize this opportunity to bust some of the myths associated with open heart surgery. I know the name itself instills fear, but believe me, it is not as barbaric as it sounds. In VSDs, if open heart surgery is done in time and at pediatric cardiac center, success rate is 95%. In some center, it reaches up to 98 to 99%. After surgery, child leads a completely normal life. However, regular follow-up with your pediatric cardiologist will be required. Another question which I face a lot is about device closure in VSDs. Most of the parents are interested in device closure as it is a closed procedure without any cutting and stitching involved. So what is device closure? Device closure is performed by a pediatric cardiologist like me in cath lab. It is a procedure where we close VSD by accessing the heart through one of the blood vessels in baby's groin. Septal defect closure device is made up of mesh of a wire and is dumbbell shaped. It is threaded over a metallic cable, and this cable along with the device is advanced through the blood vessel in the groin to heart. It is a closed procedure, that is, it does not involve any cutting and stitching, and child is discharged after 24 hours of procedure. These reasons make it a very lucrative option for parents. So can all the VSDs be closed by device closure method? And answer is blunt no. Only select medium-sized VSDs can be closed by device closure at present. Criteria for VSD device closure are stringent and technical. Actually, neither parent nor cardiologist decide about the mode of closure of the VSD. It is the VSD itself which decides how it can be closed. If it falls into the criteria of deviceability, then only device closure is offered. Here one should understand that no method is better than other. Just because device closure does not involve cutting and stitching does not mean it is safe. And because open heart surgery involves big incision, cutting and stitching, ICU stay means it is risky. Decision about mode of closure of VSD is usually taken on individual basis. So please don't insist on device closure. Let your pediatric cardiologist decide what is good for your child. On a side note, it is high time that we stop insisting on device closure just because it is a girl child. There is lot more to offer to your daughter than avoiding a scar on chest, isn't it? So to conclude, VSD is a communication between two high pressure chambers of the heart. Millimeters don't matter. VSD can cause breathlessness, difficulty in feeding, excessive sweating, inability to put on weight, and frequent respiratory tract infections. Small VSDs usually close on their own. Large VSDs need surgical closure. Only small percent of medium-sized VSD can be closed by device closure. Most of the patients of VSDs lead a completely normal life even after open heart surgery. So parents, that is all you should know about VSD. Don't get disheartened if your baby has a VSD. Have faith in your pediatric cardiologist and follow his advice judiciously. Take care, stay blessed.